first car.
March 25th already. Crazy.
We can't be that far.
We are.
No, we can't. We can't.
There's racing going on this weekend.
Yeah. Still January, isn't it?
Coming at you live from our, at least Rod and I from our Hammer Down Racing Report home studios. Jerry's at Tim Sims.
You got it. The Hillbilly High Base.
It's the Hammer Down Racing Report presented by Oakshade Raceway. Speaking of Oakshade Raceway, I have something that people have been asking for. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Yeah, it's right.
A winning lottery ticket?
Right there on that screen. You want a little preview of it? If you're listening to us on iHeartRadio or anywhere else, this is going to mean absolutely nothing to you, but it's okay. It's going to be quick. There it is. Whoa, there it was. What was that?
That was a tease, Scott.
That's what that was.
So we'll talk more. Thought I saw something that said Oakshade, though.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the. We'll start out with a little teaser here. The Bill Reckner Memorial, April 24th. We already knew that was going to be opening night. Guess what class is on that night? That usually isn't.
Sprint cars.
What do you drive, Ron?
My wife crazy.
Okay, that's true. I got nothing.
I got something Oakshade Raceway related too.
Really?
You want to save that, or are we gonna? It looks like
I may have to send.
Who is that? Oh, Hewitt.
That Jack is Hewitt. None other than Jack Hewitt.
Very nice.
I will. Yeah.
What's even more nice is that you actually made that work with your webcam. Coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Hammer Report. You can also listen to us, of course, on your favorite podcasting platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google. Check out our website, hammerdownracingreport.com. Tonight on the show, and I'm surprised he's not here yet. I might have to track him down during the racing roundup here. But we'll be speaking to Rick Eshelman. What's going on down there? Things are moving.
I'm trying to get. I see the lights are a little.
Oh, okay.
Washing me out a little. Just trying to.
I looked up and things were moving. I thought I missed something there. Rick Eshelman, voice of the World of Outlaws, Morton Building Late Model Series, will be joining us. Also, he's a former announcer at Toledo Speedway, Oakshade Raceway, what was Flag City Motorsports Park, which is now Millstream Speedway again, among other places, Eldora. So I'm sure he's got lots of stories. We'll be talking to him a little bit. Also coming up, the weekend weather pit stop with Ryan Weekman. We got all kinds of stuff. We have Hammer Down Hotline. I already gave Ron a little teaser. Jerry, you didn't get to hear it yet, so you're going to have to wait for that. I want to thank Oakshade Raceway. Of course, we're the fastest meet to race. Our presenting sponsor, racing every Saturday night. April 24th, opening night. And if you missed it, late models will be on the bill for that opening night. Late model sportsman, bombers, and compacts is Bill Rector Memorial. Unless that's a typo, this is a rough draft of the schedule, which will be posted shortly after the show because I got to get that on the website. I didn't have time to do it before. We'll go through the rest of the schedule a little bit later as well for Oakshade Raceway. Looking forward to it. And got Chrissy confirmed for later next month to talk about things at Oakshade. In a couple of weeks, we'll be talking to Doug and Chris from Sandusky Speedway about their schedule. They're going to get things going here in a few weeks. So lots to talk about. Wadesfield getting things going this weekend, too. We'll talk about that. I want to thank Real Geese Silhouette Decoys at Millstream Speedway, Big D's Pizza. We have How Many prize tonight. And speaking of How Many, we have a special How Many prize coming up next month that we're going to do a little tease for, too. So that's a tease for a tease. That's a layered tease right there. And, of course, Ron Miller Race Cars. And Ron has internet again.
Oh, again.
He's not using the dial-up, so we can actually hear him and see him tonight. So,
Scott, what's really crazy is that when I first got on the internet, late 80s, ToastNet was my service provider, and it was dial-up. And, boy, it was pretty scary. I guess at the time we were cutting edge with ToastNet. And, we went through several different incarnations, and I'm back with ToastNet. I'm very pleased.
As long as it works, and that's all that matters. And it is. So it's good to have you back. It's been like you were trying to keep you there, but it was tough. We had some racing action this past weekend. Actually, even some local action. Why don't you talk about that, Jerry? And I'm going to go find Rick.
Roundup. All right, you go find Rick, and we'll talk about the racing action in our area and throughout the country. This week's Racing Roundup brought to you by Tim Sims, powered by iRacing, and Down and Dirty Racewear here in Lima, Ohio. You can see them at some of the local tracks and even nationally throughout the season with the Dirty Dicks Racewear and Dirty Girl Racewear as well. Racing Roundup and at a local racing action, Attica Raceway Park in action last Saturday. Sikeston, Missouri's Hunter Schoenberg, 100%, was able to navigate through traffic and hold off a late race charge to score his first ever Attica Raceway Park 410 sprint victory. Ryan Markham held off Rusty Schlenk to lead all 25 laps of the late model feature for his 17th career win. Five-time defending 305 champ Paul Weaver earned his 57th career 305 victory after fending off Steve Rando. Man, Weaver's so tough to beat in the 305s up there. In Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series action, rough track conditions at Saturday at Brownstown, Indiana, caused 3 late models, including Brian Shirley, to flip over, and one driver, Fast Eddie of Lebanon, Ohio, being transported to the hospital, which forced the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and Brownstown Speedway officials to postpone the remainder of the Indiana Icebreaker to Sunday, May 2nd. Hudson O'Neill won the Buckeye Spring 50 on Sunday at Atomic Speedway for his second series win of 2021 and is now on top of the Lucas Oil point standings. In World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series action, Sheldon Hodenshield came from 6th to win Friday's Dryden Texas two-step at Cotton Bowl Speedway in Texas, making him the first repeat winner in the series this season. Saturday at Cotton Bowl, it was Brad Sweet who led 28 of 30 laps for his second series win of the year. Next up for the Outlaws Sprint Series, Friday at US 36 Raceway in Missouri, and then the Jason Johnson Classic at Saturday at Lake Ozark Raceway in Eldon, Missouri. And at Bristol Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee, Chris Ferguson won Friday's Super Late Model feature over Kyle Larson and Jonathan Davenport. Other Friday night winners included McGuire DeLong in the Sport Mods, Kyle Heckman in the Modifieds, Cass Fowler in the 602 Crate Late Models. In Saturday's finale, Jonathan Davenport passed Larson to win the $50,000 Super Late Model main event with Scott Bloomquist finishing third. Hunter Anthony appeared to win the Hornet feature, but was DQ'd for not wearing gloves after the race, giving the win to Jake Benechek. Kyle Strickler flew in from the postponed Brownstown event to win the Open Modified feature, and Dolan Murdy beat his dad, Damon Murdy, in the stock car feature, and Austin Dillon won the 602 Crate Light Model feature on Saturday. In NASCAR action, Kyle Busch dominated to win his 60th NASCAR Truck Series win on Saturday at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Justin Allgaier held off a hard-charging Martin Truex Jr. in Saturday evening's NASCAR Xfinity Series Echo Park 250 to win his 15th career Xfinity race. Ryan Blaney tracked down Kyle Larson late in Sunday's Cup Series Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 in Atlanta. Next up in NASCAR action, the Pinty Truck Race on dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway on Saturday at 8 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. The Cup Series will also be in action with the Bristol Dirt Heat Races on Saturday at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. And then the Food City Dirt Race at Bristol will be on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. on Fox. The Xfinity Series is off until Martinsville on Friday, April 9th at 8 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. In other racing notes, Buddy Kofoid won Friday night's POWRi Lucas Oil National Midget League at Monarch Motor Speedway. Kofoid won again at Monarch on Saturday after overcoming a flat tire while leading and having to restart at the tail with just 6 laps remaining. And that'll do it for this week's Racing Roundup, brought to you by Tim Sims and Down and Dirty Racewear.
Little sidebar to Rusty Schlink's second place finish. Danny Schlink, Rusty's wife, was on pins and needles the entire night as her son started outside of Rusty in the feature and raced hard with him most of the show. And Danny was just not real pleased with all of that. That was her baby.
Where did he end up finishing?
Third.
Very awesome. Very cool.
I got some bad news.
Ruh-roh.
Rick is having car trouble.
Really?
Oh, no!
Yeah, and I can share a story about that, too.
Okay.
Pardon me. Still chatting with. Still trying to get him on. He says that he's going to need to reschedule, but I'm going to try and talk him into coming on. I'm like, your phone doesn't work when you have car trouble?
Well,
What's
I have
with the finger?
I have a fill-in if we have to.
Oh, do you?
I have head hillbilly Tim Nichols sitting over here. We can always bring him in to slide in next to me and talk a little bit about the simulators and the things going on here at the Hillbilly High Banks if you'd like.
Well, we could do that, or I could open up. I could share the link to join, and we could just have a free-for-all. Anybody wants to join in. See what happens. I don't know.
A full room. Yeah, we could do that.
Speaking of Rick Eshelman car trouble, I actually met him working at Flag City when I started announcing back in '96, I think it was.
God, you're old.
I know.
You're old. Wow.
I know. '96. You were like a teenager, weren't you, Ron?
Yeah.
96. I was in the Navy.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I was still a teenager.
Driving back after, where were we? We're driving back after a Sunday night at Flag City Motorsports Park at the time, Millstream, whatever. And Dave doesn't even have the link. You're right. It's very sacred. Rick has the link, but he's not using it. He was even going. This is the weird thing too. I'll tell you this story. But first, we were driving back, and I think this was when I was married or engaged still. Yeah, that was a long time ago, and
It's
so
been a minute.
She was with me. And we're driving back, and we see a car on the side of the road. It's just south of Bowling Green on 75 coming back north because he used to live up in the Detroit area and commute down there. And I was in the Toledo area, so, going back the same way. Saw a car on the side of the road. I was like, man, that looks a lot like Rick's car. I think that was Rick. So we got to the next turnaround, came back, and
So you circled back.
Circled back and stopped, and it was Rick. Rick was having car trouble back in '96, and apparently it's still a thing for him.
Same car?
I don't know. I was going to ask him that.
Knowing Rick, it could be the same car.
That car was old in '96. It was probably an '80s.
Yeah, that's Rick.
Something, yeah.
An '84 Chevy Celebrity.
I think it was a Ford or a Mercury. I don't remember, but anyway.
You better figure out how to get on with this. Otherwise, this is going to be just a horrible bash Rick night.
I know. That's all right. He'll make up for it,
we'll never bash him.
But he's always been the type of guy that he fears technology. Doesn't really fear technology. I don't want to say maybe he is paranoid. You know, like Big Brother. He likes to stay off the radar, but he's not like who was that crazy guy that lived in a shack? I'm not going to compare him to.
Sounds a whole lot like Gary Lindahl. I wonder if there's a connection there.
Kinda, but I think Rick is even worse. Like Gary's got a Facebook page. Rick's never been on Facebook. He's never been on Twitter. He had a flip phone. He was like you, Ron, with the flip phone thing for years. And all of a sudden, he appeared on Twitter. I know you got a real phone, and it's awesome. But he appeared on Twitter I think like in January. And so that was actually one of the questions I wanted to ask him was, did somebody force you to get onto Twitter? Was this a World of Outlaws thing?
Mandate.
And then when I gave him the link, I said you can use the link to join the show. If you got a computer with a good internet and a camera, or even a smartphone, but I doubt you have a smartphone. He's like, I'll use my smartphone. I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? So yeah. I think he's at the World of Outlaws at Cherokee this weekend.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I got to step away from the camera for just a moment. I'll be right back.
Thanks for the warning.
Yep.
Bye. Anyway, one more announcement for Racing Roundup. Actually, it's not really Racing Roundup, but a note for this weekend. Friday's event at Friday's World of Outlaws NAS Energy Drink Sprints event at US 36 Raceway in Missouri has been canceled due to heavy rains today. And a news story I wanted to get to too. Did you see the post? Dave actually shared this on our Hammer Down Racing Report Facebook page about Red Farmer.
I did. The tornado that it made a horrible mess of his place.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked like his hauler got smashed by a tree. It wasn't good, but tornadoes, I guess, down there. He's in Alabama, I think.
Alabama, correct.
Yeah. So let me see if I can pull those up real quick here, just in case you didn't see it, because it was pretty impressive. It looked like it peeled the siding off his house, but at least his house was still standing, and he was okay. And it looked like his wife, or I'm assuming that was his wife in the picture, was okay as well. Here we go. Here it is. So there's some of the stuff.
Can you bring up the one with his race car in it?
Yeah, let me see if we get that a little bigger there. Can't really tell if the car's smushed there or not, but Ron Miller can fix that, right?
That's it.
Yeah, figured as much. Well, unfortunately, sometimes things happen when you schedule things live. So we'll try and we'll see if we can. I don't have anything scheduled for next week. I was going to try and get a feature winner from either Waynesfield or Attica on next week, but maybe we'll see if Rick wants to join in for that. Assuming he doesn't have car trouble.
Could be the same person.
Attica and Waynesfield, yeah, as long as Attica, and as of this morning or this afternoon, Attica is still on for tomorrow night. They have not postponed to Saturday. So, yes, it could still be the same person as of now. They're going to do an update in the morning, depending on how much rain they get overnight and how the winds are, I guess. And like I said, we got Ryan Weekman with the weekend weather pit stop coming up, the first of the year, actually.
Scott, before we, actually, it was something I wanted to talk to Rick about, too, because he's always got a bird's eye view of what's going on. And we've talked about it a little bit. A lot of tracks are seeing an alarming number of dirt late models rolling over. And Brownstown,
referring to the Brownstown thing?
Brownstown, and certainly at Bristol, we saw some cars just crazy crashes. But and I don't know if the rules need to be changed with the cars because of the attitude that they're running in, or if the tracks need to pay closer attention to track prep. But the cars that we have today they're just not compatible with a rough racetrack.
Speaking of that rollover real quick at Brownstown last week, and one of the drivers that flipped that was transported to the hospital, Fast Eddie of Lebanon, Ohio. He, I guess, is I think he's home was the update.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So,
did you happen to see that 602 crate crash from Bristol? Where
I saw there was a lot of crashes at Bristol.
Scott, he caught one of the little barriers, whatever they used.
Dirtles?
Whatever they used to replace the infield tractor tires. That car flipped 10 times. It was pretty amazing.
So. I saw a few of them. Was it coming off the corner?
Yeah, coming off of 4, heading towards the flag stand.
Yeah, I think I did see that one.
But I don't know what needs to be done, but a couple.
You're a car builder. I mean, you should. What can you do to keep the cars from rolling? Make them wider.
Well,
I realize that's not feasible, but I mean, what can you do?
We laughed last year when they talked about checking the droop rule on cars, and that probably needs to be reeled in. I don't know how you would legislate it, but you need to flatten the cars out a lot.
How do you do that? And how do you do that that's cost effective?
Keep the left rear from hiking up, keep the right front from sitting on the bump stop.
So you're talking about suspension, not actually flattening the cars. I gotcha.
Right. Absolutely suspension. Poke a hole in the nose. Get the nose from being pinned to the racetrack. These are all things that'll slow the cars down. And that's not what I'm advocating. I don't care how fast they go. It's the attitude that the cars are in. They're halfway rolled over all the time right now. And all it takes is just a little bump on the driver's side and the car goes over. Hook a rut with one of the right wheels and the car goes over. And we're just very fortunate that nobody was seriously injured in Bristol. Couple of guys that rolled at Brownstown over the weekend were injured a little, but the containment seats are good. The Hans devices are good. Drivers think they're Superman, but
that's Davenport.
We've just got to do something, or somebody really is going to get hurt. We don't have window nets. What would it take for somebody's?
Are there any dirt late model series that run window nets?
Michigan. The Michigan, the MSPA type cars, the ones that run the American Racer tires, yes, they do. What would it take for somebody's hand to come off the steering wheel and go out the window? That's why sprint car drivers run the arm restraints.
Jack straps, yeah.
Jerry, we were talking about the propensity of dirt late models to roll over now, where that wasn't common, 6 or 7 years ago. The attitude that the cars are in and what we're asking the suspension to do means that just hitting a rut or getting hit while you're crossed up on the driver's side, cars are going over like crazy, and we need to be proactive on that.
I agree 100%. But it's a product that speeds have picked up. You get to some of these tracks and like Brownstown, very heavy, very rough. It doesn't take much, but yeah, I definitely in the last 5 years, I've seen more late models upside down, and I think I have my entire life.
There's always an advocate of safety, Matt Swander there. Thanks, everybody. Yep. Hey, Jared, you got the show up? Somebody watching the show there with you? We're getting a little bit of feedback.
Is it echoing real bad?
Yeah, I can. If you can get that turned down a little.
Yep, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Take your time. I want to thank Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, the most technologically advanced goose and duck decoys ever produced. They're manufactured right here in the U.S. Check out realgeese.com or call 419-800-8100. So Rick Eshelman was scheduled to be our guest tonight. He is apparently having a little bit of a crisis again, probably with his 1980s vehicle. But he upgraded his phone, so I would think he's upgraded his car in that time. I could be wrong. I don't know. Let me see something. Hello, me.
You're better.
It takes a while, I guess. If I hear, I don't hear.
45 seconds.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
There it is. I still hear me. But it's better. It's all right. We can live with that.
All right.
Also want to thank Millstream Speedway returning to racing action May 9th. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, or millstreamspeedway.net. Their new logo's out there on their website, and they have
very cool new logo. Yes.
Test and Tune coming up, and we're going to do a live broadcast from there. I'm not sure we'll do much talking. Maybe we'll just show a lot of the cars on the track.
Well, I'll be the one talking. You guys will be out actually on the track.
We'll be coming in and out. Yeah.
I got to live vicariously through you guys.
Well, that's all right. Well, maybe I'll take my phone in the car and we'll do some live stuff from the car. In Ron's car.
Jerry, is your schedule going to allow you to do any racing in your truck at all this year?
I am taking the week of June 5th off from Shady Bowl.
Which is the Keyser Memorial.
Right. That's the Keyser Memorial Lima Land on the 4th, and then Saturday will be up to Oakshade. My plan... lost my earpiece here. My plan right now is to get the truck ready, and I'm wanting to put together a paint scheme to tribute my dad and my grandpa, and maybe since I am going to be at Oakshade, hopefully racing, I tribute maybe to my dad's first feature win, which came at Oakshade back in 1987, I believe it was.
So what happens if you actually get the feature win?
Oh, you'll see.
He'll be protested and DQ'd.
Yeah, because I'll be in tears. You guys won't be able to talk to me in victory lane or anything. It would be something incredible, but just getting a chance to race at Oakshade is going to be a bucket list item. Just like announcing there, just being able to come up there and help you out has been amazing for me. Just because that's where Dad got his first feature win. It's the same as having announced at Lima Land and Eldora. Places where my dad had a lot of fun racing over the years and a lot of good memories. So. Looking forward to hopefully getting my first laps at Oakshade this year.
Matt Swander just posted something about no phones in the car. Was that an issue?
I think that was in response to me saying I would take the phone in the car at the test and tune at Millstream.
Okay.
Hey, that's not an official event. There is no rule there.
There was what was it? The driver at Daytona testing. I forget who it was. Did a Facebook Live in the car, and he got it was ARCA driver.
Busted.
Yeah. No phones. I don't advocate that. Probably not a good idea even to test and tune. I don't know.
Well, with the rule saying no radios and no two-way communication devices, I wonder if anybody has used the phone.
Oh, you could put it. You could just use like a little headset,
Bluetooth
earbuds,
hide it in your
or
fire
whatever.
suit. Yeah, it's a good question. If
receiver in one ear, telephone in the other.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It'd be easy to actually see or hear the person in the car because you're going to have so much engine noise, car noise.
But if it's in the helmet, your mic's in the helmet.
That's true. I do have like one of those motorcycle helmet things where I can barely hear anybody when they're calling me and I'm on the highway. And it's one of those things that like answers automatically. So I don't have a choice. And it just kind of happens because it's a Bluetooth thing. And like all of a sudden I can barely hear somebody. I'm like, I'm on the highway. I can't hear you. I don't know who you are. I'll see you in a little bit. I'll figure it out.
That's just a technology problem. My buddy Scott Hammer could overcome that.
Absolutely.
Oh, here it is. Dean sent me a picture here of Fast Eddie in that exactly what you were talking about with the flipping over, and that's a pretty wild picture there. Check this out. Boom.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Since I've been gone, did anybody talk about Red Farmer?
Yes,
we did. You missed that.
Okay.
Tornado.
Yes, terrible. I'm glad everybody's okay. Just stinks for Red. Now going to have to start his season back over.
So who do we have for a fill-in guest tonight? We'll do that real quick before we get to the news.
Well, I can bring Tim in. Give me just a moment here.
Let's talk to Tim. Is he going to be able to hear at the same time? You're going to share earbuds?
Well, I'm going to actually. I will.
Whoa, organic.
Unplug the earphones.
We're going to have to get organic. Well, if I unplug the earphones, then you guys are going to hear the show through the speaker here. Let me see what I can do real quick.
It might be all right. I can already hear myself through there. While you're doing that, we'll go through some news, and you can figure that out and let me know when you're ready. How's that?
How is that?
That's fine.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
We'll put you on the air here for a minute.
All right, while he's doing that, we got a little bit of racing news here. Kyle Larson announced on Tuesday the launch of the Kyle Larson Foundation. While stating his initial goal to raise $500,000 in donations, Larson is celebrating the launch of his foundation with the Drive for Five initiative, which he will use to raise money for communities in need. To help kick off, this is a quote, to help kick off the Drive for Five program, I'm donating personally $5 for every lap completed, as well as $5,000 for every top five finish, Larson said in his video announcement. Now, my question is that just in the Cup car, or is that in everything he races? Because he's going to be broke.
Better have good sponsors.
Yeah. Jerry, did you mute yourself, Jerry? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, we were muted for a second. I'm letting you go through the news while Tim was just wanting to know what we wanted to talk about. And
we don't
put
know.
him on the spot.
We don't know. Well, he can chime in with the news. Well, here, we'll do the news, and then we'll talk to Tim. But you can feel free to chime in anytime,
Hey,
sir.
hear anything you want to talk about?
During a pit stop, did you any of you guys see the Xfinity race? I didn't see this live.
Did not.
With Daniel Hemrick and Noah Gragson. Apparently, this is what I've heard, and I've seen part of it, but I didn't see all of it. So apparently, there's a little bit more in the story here. Daniel Hemrick overshot his pit stall due to another car leaving their pit box. Instead, Hemrick came to a stop in the box of Noah Gragson. That caused Gragson to miss his pit stall as well. Now, this is the part I did see where Hemrick and Gragson then backed into their boxes. Gragson took it a bit further, backing up into the front nose of Hemrick's machine as Gragson pulled forward to line himself back up in his box. Stuck his hand out of the window and told Hemrick he's number one with his middle finger. After the race, and everybody's, I'm sure, seen this, Gragson was in the middle of a TV interview when he was approached by Hemrick. Gragson threw a punch that was dodged by Hemrick. Hemrick then came back with a punch of his own. A JR Motorsports crew member then grabbed Hemrick. As he had him in a headlock, Gragson reached around and landed a punch on him. Sunday morning, NASCAR announced that Noah Gragson would not be penalized for the contact on pit road. And I think I read there was no other penalties from any of that.
Have at it, boys. Isn't that what they said a few years ago?
At its finest. At its finest.
Do you guys approve of that? Y'all for that?
Hey, the cameras were there. They caught the whole thing. You know, those folks paid good money.
Speaking of cameras, then, so are you saying this is okay even at the local track?
Violence is never okay. It's never the answer. But I would rather see a guy.
That's why people go to hockey
games.
Pop
a dude in the nose because he's mad about something that happened on track than to use a race car as a weapon.
Absolutely,
because you're risking not only. Yeah,
Jerry, when that happens, there's always a third party that winds up involved.
Yes, sir.
It's not a good thing.
Well, speaking of cameras, Millstream will, and they announced this last Wednesday. We forgot to cover this last week, but Millstream is going to have live streaming this summer for all their events. It'll be live streamed on thecushion.com. Is important in thecushion.com. If you go to cushion.com, I think you get like furniture cushions or something, and it's not going to be as fun to watch. So if you can't make it out to Millstream this summer, all the events will be streamed on thecushion.com. So if there's a fight, make sure you're on camera. You can look for the camera guy and then throw your
over
punches.
Here.
Yes.
Well, Jerry, the nice thing about punching somebody in the nose or giving them a shove or whatever is that they know exactly who the aggression is pointed at. If you dump somebody in the racetrack, was it an accident? Was it real? If you confront them, there's no question.
Well, right. Gragson seems to be in the middle of a lot of things recently.
Yeah.
And that kind of can stir up things between other drivers thinking that he's give it a
He's
bad
the
reputation.
troublemaker.
Yeah. It kind of one of those deals, but hopefully that all evens out. Gregson is obviously talented, or he wouldn't be where he is.
Or wealthy.
Well, that too, but
that doesn't hurt.
I'm where I'm at.
Yes,
not for my good looks.
The Must-See Racing Sprint Series presented by Engine Pro and the Maxima Racing Oil Must-See Racing Midwest Lights will each kick off their 2021 seasons next month. Must-See Racing Sprint Series will now entertain several multi-day events to be contested at the same track. The idea behind the new format is to help curb travel expenses for teams while running the same number of events as in past seasons. Doing two-day events will cut the number of weekends teams normally have to run in the past by half. The season-long championship chase format has been replaced by the Engine Pro Fast Car Dash mini-series with a points fund to be awarded at the year's end Champions Banquet celebration. Not exactly sure what all that means. Additionally, traditional points fund money normally paid at the season's end will be paid out in the form of bonuses, incentives, and travel guarantees during these multi-day weekends. So, different approach at thing.
Yeah, I'm always for series and stuff, trying to find ways to save these guys money and consolidate their series. I like longer race season, but at the same time, it's tough on everybody to have to haul long distances every week and to try to get their car ready to go every week. So yeah, I think it's a good idea.
How about a 42-day summer national schedule, Jerry?
The Hell Tour. Oh.
William Byron picked up right where he left off last season by winning the season opener for the iRacing or eNASCAR iRacing Pro Invitational Series. I'm doing two different things. Wednesday night at the virtual version of the Bristol Motor Speedway's dirt-covered oval. Byron, who started on the outside pole, I don't even care. It's iRacing, so it doesn't really matter. Wait. But did you hear about Timmy Hill, though? And this deal. And this kind of has a tie into real racing. Not that iRacing's not real racing. I was a pioneer in the online sim racing deal back in like 2000 with my dial-up connection, playing NASCAR 2003 or 99 or whatever.
That's where all this started. That was Rat Bag at its finest, and
it was before it was Papyrus. It wasn't even a Rat Bag.
The old NASCAR racing. Yes,
exactly.
He did a little bit of that too.
Anyway, Timmy Hill was not invited to the Invitational. He did I think he won a race last year when NASCAR kind of went on pause and everything went online. He was not invited this year, which messed up some of the sponsorship deals for him, because I guess part of his sponsorship on his real race car included the sponsorship on his virtual race car. So he's kind of in a pickle there with that. I'm not sure. Hopefully he can get that worked out and continue racing the rest of the NASCAR season. And that's all the news I have. We may have a surprise guest actually joining us.
Okay.
As you said, it's a
organic.
Organic, yes. But who do we have sitting next to you? And give us a little bit of background. What's going on there again?
Well, I'm over here at Tim Sims, the Hillbilly High Banks, the home of Tim Sims, powered by iRacing. Got the man himself, Tim Nichols, with me. Tim started this. Tim, when did we get started with all the simulators and everything?
01, 02, wasn't it?
01, 02. Yep. Started with computers and stuff mounted to the tables down in the basement, and it's grown. And Tim's turned this into quite an operation that's led to not only the simulators, but also Down and Dirty Racewear, which includes the Dirty Dicks Racewear and Dirty Girl. So, Tim, we got a lot going on at the Hillbilly High Banks, hopefully in 2021. Got some great things. We started with the General Tire Winter Nationals that just wrapped up. Let's talk about that. How'd the Winter Nationals go out for you?
Well, that was great. The first one we had. I mean, money-wise, everybody wants to race for money, but, you get a set of tires with the value that this is worth. It helps the racer, and that's what I'm out to do with the General Tire and some of the super clean sponsors I have. I'm a racer of all kinds. I love every dirt track. I love shows like this. And that's what the Hillbilly High Banks is going to be about. Anything about racing. Yeah, I know I'm in iRacing, but I've been a race fan since I remember, and I always will be. And it's my blood. A lot of people say dirt's in my blood. Dirt will plug up your veins. Mine's alcohol. Methanol. That's what makes me go. And that's the way I look at it. But with the high banks, we have so much going on, and I want to revolve the real racers into the iRacing. Like the Hillbilly High Banks, I have people come here year round that are real racers. I have people stay here. I have people come in and work on their cars here when they're around for the speed week and stuff like that. And this is going to be a home for some of them to where they're going to be able to relax. They come to the hotel, they're going to come over here and enjoy the high banks, and it's going to be something that's going to be on air. You know, it's one of the things. We're going to have all kinds of different shows. We got a lot of events coming up that pays money, and we would love to have you guys get on board a little bit with a deal that Larry Bell's doing that's going to be announced real soon with Fort Wayne. We're going to run a 9-month series, one a month race, 410 race at different tracks. Larry Bell's putting this together to where we can go in, and we're going to have it all boiled down to the Fort Wayne Rumble. And we're going to have people over the world racing with us, and I'm going to have 12 simulators there. We'd love to invite you guys there for Thursday night part of it to do your show there with some of this. Be more news. We need to get these people that in iRacing. I know the Ivies do, you know, and I know a lot of the guys racers, they do it at home. I want to bring it all together. And, you know, I love racing. I want to do everything I can, but my dream is iRacing because I've never been able to afford to race. I know what it costs. I've seen it with my uncles. I've helped. And it's, you know, I have so many memories. I'm working on my wall in my high banks room over here, and people's going to come here just to see there. It's going to be history.
Let me ask you some questions about your deal there for those of us that aren't as familiar. Is this like a club? Is this open to the public? Is this an invite only kind of thing? Open to the public. Okay.
We're going to have this opened up once I'm done to where different guys, if it's drivers, different fans, are going to come here a certain night of the week and run in the leagues. They're going to be able to come in here and join me like I do on Monday nights. Right after we get done here, we have a 410 series that's coming on the Dirt Racing Network that I'm involved in, and it's real racing guys from all over the world are racing, and there's real racers involved in this. And we run it just like a real program, and there's money involved in this. This series might get bumped up to big money next series.
Now, how much does it cost to come out and race in one of your simulators?
When I'm at the Hillbilly High Banks, you bring me a Pepsi, you can stay all night.
I like that price.
You know, I'm here to have fun.
Because it costs money. It costs money to do the iRacing thing. I mean, that's like a monthly subscription, and
yes.
So I mean, how do you offset those costs?
Well, truthfully, I am sponsored by iRacing.
Oh, okay.
And you know the software that the NASCAR and World Outlaws used for this? I was the first one to have the Dirt Vision. I worked with them to work that out, and I had that before it went out there. And we did a big show in New York with the Wicked Cushion, Matt Henninger. And we had people live. We had the show was broadcast in Australia from an Australian, and they're the UD TV. And this is really getting big. I mean, this is where money's going. The racing's getting expensive. But I'm sponsored by iRacing. All my racing's free. I can pull you up on any track, any car you want to. You name it, we'll bring you up and you can run over here. My job is to get people hooked on iRacing. It's just like giving a kid candy. You know, they're going to love it. You come over here to shop. I want to introduce you to iRacing. You're going to get down there and get to run with your buddies with the VR on. However, we'll hook you up to what you're comfortable with. Find a seat that fits you and put you in there racing with guys. And it's so much fun. I mean, it's for all ages.
Say Ron wants to come down and he wants to run a late model. Can he do that in one of your sims?
Where you want to run it at? You want to run Bristol? You want to Knoxville? Eldora?
Where you want to run at, Ron?
Oakshade. I got more laps there than
you got Oakshade on iRacing yet?
Yeah, buddy, but I'd love to.
Not yet, but that's something. You put out the word. Maybe we can get the folks from iRacing to buy into that. That would be a very neat addition.
Call up Dale Jr. and have him come out and help map the track out.
There you go.
We need to invite you all three down here to do the show from here one night and get you guys racing and get it on and let people watch you guys do it.
Well, I wouldn't want to show up, Ron.
You don't see me in iRacing.
Didn't we that dirt track simulator thing at one of the Summer Nationals? We had a little deal going on years ago, and I think I beat your time. And you said it's because it wasn't a real car.
Well, with this, you guys will actually get to race head to head. We can set it up where it's just you guys. We can set it up where you're racing against people all over the world. I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures I've shared, stuff going on with the new broadcast room, but it's getting underway. We're hoping to have some more pictures coming up here soon of some of the more finished product. We got pictures starting to go up on the wall. Some of Tim's personal memorabilia from over the years with the Nichols brothers, his uncles, that with Jack Hewitt driving. you name it. There's been a lot of great names in that car, and I can't wait to be able to share that with everybody once we get the room all finished up over there.
Where exactly are you located for, because we got people all over the world?
I'm in Lime, Ohio.
Lima, okay.
Yes, where I'm from, Lime, Ohio. Actually, my uncles were the Nichols brothers. They've raced for 48 years before they retired. And, we ran Oakshade a lot up there when they did run the sprint cars. And I had followed them in. They've got me hooked in racing. And, I've grown up with a lot of them and a lot of the local people around here. I grew up with them, knowing them, made friends with them. And I can't explain it. This is my dream come true. We sat in my basement. We had one computer just like this and dreamed of different things. And we've had 24, you talk about running NASCAR 3. We've had 24 cars hooked up in my garage running NASCAR 3.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I'm working on is 24 iRacing cars. My logo is you name the place, I'll bring the race. So they can hire me to come to their parties. I've done graduations, proms, bachelor parties, birthday parties, you name it, I've done it. And I do a lot of corporate stuff where I go in and they'll want 4, 6, 8 cars, and we'll go in and be the entertainment for even for Napa. And, we did a lot from Opar over the years. But I've got a couple electric companies and stuff that have safety parties every year. I go set up for the day and they have a picnic. They do all their stuff. I'm the entertainment.
So how do people
I pick up 2 more.
How do people get a hold of you?
I am working on a whole new deal. It's going to be Tim at timsims.com. My email. Phone number is 419-234-6628. Me and Jerry and a few other guys are really putting this together to really make this bigger. This is what I want to do. And I know, like you said, it's not real racing, but we're going to call this is the Hillbilly High Banks. And if you ever seen any of our video, it's real life here, okay? We get mad. We get in we never had anybody really get busted in the nose, but we've had trash cans kicked around and a few choice words.
Any rage quitters?
High Banks.
Any rage quitters?
Yeah, we've had a few people leave and come back 2 weeks later. We kid about it,
Tim noted his email address and his phone number. Don't forget, you can also visit him on Facebook. Tim Sims Powered by iRacing on Facebook, where he answers questions there all the time. A lot of people check him out there. So, and again, that's where we're going to have pictures.
What was the email address again? I'll make sure I got this right.
At timsims.com.
Like that?
2 S's.
2 S's at Tim Sims.
Ignore what's on the screen then. Ignore that.
Try again, Scott.
How about let's try this one.
Our friends listening on iHeart.
How's that one?
Obviously don't know what this is going. So it's Tim. Nope, just one, no S on the front on Tim's. It's just
I got Tim
Sims.
I give up. Just don't look at this. Don't look at the screen.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, check us out on Facebook.
When's this Fort Wayne deal supposed to be happening? Because
Fort Wayne deal is always in December, right before Christmas.
But
I'm not doing any other racing.
Next month?
Yeah, the league. But next month we'll be kicking off the start of it, and it's going to be filtered out here more real soon. And maybe next Thursday or 2 weeks, Jerry will bring more to you about it.
All right, we'll definitely be. Hi, Jerry. You've done this, and you also have raced in an actual car. How does it compare?
It's as close as you're going to get without sinking the big money into a racing deal. It's still a computer. You don't get the feel, the seat of the pants feel, but that's coming. We force feedback steering wheels, and
some of those guys they have more in their rigs than they do in their cars.
Yeah, that takes away the fun when you have to sink that much money into it. But by the way, Tim's built everything. You can come over here. You can have fun. Barney Craig, who has raced stock cars at Lima Land for 30 years at Eldora and is now the pace truck driver at Eldora. He comes over and races every Monday in that big block modified series we've been running. And he doesn't get that seat of the pants feel, but he still has fun. There's the email address. Thanks, Thomas. Tommy Cole posting the correct email address up there.
I can't type. Yeah, so that's it.
So, but yeah, some guys, you're always going to have somebody who just doesn't quite like it, but the more you race it, the more fun you're going to have. Just like anything, you log laps, you're going to get quicker, you're going to get better, and it gets competitive over here. I jump in and race with them as much as I can, and we jump online and we race with, like I said, people all over the world. And Tim, who does this quite a bit, is I hate to say it, a mid-pack car at times. At best, I've watched him struggle to get out of a C main. I have yet to make an A main in any of the big shows. I won a little 305, somebody just put up a room and we had, 22 cars in there. I got lucky and picked up the win, but it's not that easy. It's challenging, and if you want to put the time into it, you're going to have fun.
All right. Well, keep us up to date. We have someone on the phone here. We need to move on here. Thanks, Tim. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. We'll get together.
Definitely be down there. I'll have to check that out. An
Tim
unexpected
Nichols with Tim Sims.
An unexpected call, and we'll pot her up now. Are you there?
I'm here.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
Ron,
Just fine.
Ron and Jerry, I think, know who this is. Pam Hendrix, Oakshade Raceway. Guess what I got this afternoon,
Ron,
Pam?
Jerry, Scott.
Hi, Pam.
Well,
Is that
I
what you're
tuned
calling
in
about,
tonight.
or what are you calling about? Did you want to share some Rick Eshelman stories?
Oh, my goodness. Mine, no, they couldn't go over the air, all the stories I got. Remember, press box tells a lot.
Yeah.
No,
The mic
in
isn't
the night.
always hot.
Correct. It better not be.
That's why it's got a little on-off switch on it.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't think to shut it off.
Well, no. Sometimes we forget. And sometimes there's things that are being yelled when we're trying to talk, and it happens. Anyways, what's going on, Pam? Pam from Oakshade Raceway?
Getting ready to fire up this season.
You want to talk about the schedule? I was going to have Chrissy on in a few weeks, but I was going to talk about the schedule. How about we do that now?
But all I know is we're opening the last Saturday of April and racing every Saturday after that till the end of September.
Well, that
Chrissy's the one.
that pretty much covers it. So
I'll let her go over the highlights with you and stuff. With the, we do have a couple ALMS races scheduled. Sam had gotten with me, but I haven't seen him put anything out yet. But remember the 2 dates I gave him? Summer Nationals, Barney, and we're working on our championship night.
Okay. Last year there was no ALMS series that I know of, right? I think they took last year off.
Correct.
With everything
He
going
didn't.
on.
Yeah, he didn't have any.
Yeah. So according to the schedule that we have right now, May 29th, so that's Memorial Day weekend, is American Late Model Series night. The Barney Oldfield race, June 19th, is the other one. And then, of course, the birthday race, which isn't American Late Model Series. It's a Summer Nationals event on July 17th with the Modifieds and the Bombers. You got a couple of the Oakshade Attica Raceway Park Challenge Late Model Series deals, 3 of those.
Right.
And then the thing we had break on the show a few weeks back that I didn't even know about is the Dirt Track Truck Series happening on June 5th. And it looks like
we're going to
late models, sportsmen, and bombers that night. And here's something that stuck out with me was opening night having late models on there. It's typically it's just been sportsmen, bombers, and compacts. Any insight?
Did you notice that?
I noticed.
Did you notice it right away?
It was the first thing. It's right there.
Well, that don't mean you read it. I mean,
It had to be a
people
misprint.
look and. Ron, did you see that?
See what, Pam?
The schedule, we're going to run late models the first night we open.
I've always advocated that up until this year, and we've been so busy. Pam, my car is still in the trailer from New Year's Day. I'm in serious trouble.
Yeah, you are, because you got 1 week left.
That's right. Yeah, because that's not the last Saturday in April, so it's actually a little earlier this year, isn't it? No, I guess it is, because May 1st.
It is the last Saturday.
Yeah, it just seems like it's not because you got.
Six
early.
days after that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Correct.
Any
It's also
chance?
Mrs. Miller's birthday,
It's also Mrs. Miller's birthday.
April 24th. Yep.
Is there any chance of testing tunes before opening night?
Yeah, that's an
All
important
depends
question.
on the weather.
I've
Depends
been
on the
getting a
weather.
lot of questions on that here at the shop, Pam. A lot of people are really excited.
Not going to schedule one because by the time we do, then we won't be able to have one. But we'll get it out soon enough that we'll know if we can do it. And normally, what we usually one of our biggest problems is the ground ain't settled out there. But right now it is, but we got the month of April to go to see what happens with all the rain. But it is settled out over the winter already, so that's a switch.
Yeah,
I know.
Real dry March.
I know that that April's likely to be a wet month, but I was looking at the Toledo paper this morning, and the Toledo airport, as of this morning, had 0.2 of an inch of rain, less than 0.2 of an inch of rain the entire month of March. That's really dry.
It's dry. Yeah. It's raining right now out here.
We're making up for it.
Dry.
Making up some lost ground tonight. One thing that's missing from the schedule that I'm sure you're going to get a lot of questions about is the Boss Show. I know it was originally on the schedule last year before having to get pushed off because of all the COVID restrictions. Is that maybe some of the reasons it's not on there? And I know that Chrissy had said that there could be some things added to this. This is not necessarily the final version of the schedule.
And she talked to him, and that we just couldn't agree on the dates. The dates he wanted, and it was later in August. And I said, nah, I'm not going to do late in August. And I forget what the other one was. Might have been, I don't know. Chrissy's the one that talked to him, but we just couldn't agree on the dates.
Gotcha.
We couldn't get a date. That was the biggest thing. The date. Got to have a date to have one, but
Yeah, that was always my problem. I could never get any dates.
Yeah, I can't.
Maybe it was September. You want me to help you get a date, Scott? You want me to talk to some of the people I know?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate it, though. You do enough for me already.
Yeah, right.
All right, we'll get the schedule, or I will get the schedule posted on the Oakshade website shortly after we go off the air here, so that full schedule can be up. And, of course, full show is pretty much every Saturday night. You're going to see late model sportsman bombers and compacts, with the exception of a few nights, like the Dirt Track Truck Series special event. The compacts are off that night. Compacts and sportsmen are off on Summer Nationals, birthday race night. I guess with the 30% restriction, and I don't know if that could even be relaxed further, maybe before we start racing season. Is that any concern to you at this point?
For the birthday race, it is.
Okay,
but
I meant
so
general.
you understand. Last year when we started out, we were at 50%.
We were at 0%.
And in August, when we started, it was 0, and then he gave us 50. Then in August, when he put for the schools to play football and stuff, he put the racetracks under the schools, and he dropped us down to 15%.
Yeah.
So now it's doubled, and we were racing at 15%. So I feel a lot better at the 30%, but I need more to do that birthday race.
So we're
as we all know, we got called every week from the health department that we did something wrong. Somebody did something wrong, and I kept telling them I don't think so, but somebody was complaining. So
it was all
maybe
my
won't
fault.
Complain
I'm
so
not going to
much
be
now.
there next year. You're covered.
It's Jerry's fault.
I'm covered. It was all Jerry's fault.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We know whose fault it was. And I'm not talking about the one guy. I'm talking about he wasn't the only one that called. Someone called every week.
Wow.
They were really mad because there was not going to be a fair. There was not going to be the homecoming in Wasion. There was not going to be a Delta Chicken Festival or, none of that, but didn't understand how we could race.
There was a lot of that going on last year, even with other tracks that were like, well, how come they can do this, but we can't? A lot of, why do they get to do this? How come we can't? A lot of jealousy, I think. But
I was just glad we were able to race.
Yeah. All right, Pam. We appreciate you calling in, and we'll.
Well, I really wanted to listen to Rick. I mean, it's been so long, and then because he's got car trouble, his phone don't work. What the hell?
This is what I got. I got a message. I sent him a message here because he was supposed to join us at 7. He says car trouble, broke down. Sorry. And I said, so can you talk or do we need to reschedule? And he says reschedule. So that's then I got nothing else. So maybe something serious is going on there. I don't know. But
I hope not.
Stuff happens. Yeah, we'll try and get him on next week.
be somewhere, and he wasn't.
We'll have him as a B guest next week. We'll have somebody on as our A guest, and we'll have him as if we have time to get to.
Well, he can help
Or
us
a
do an
C or a
interview.
D.
Or he can just host
Come
the
on
show.
down.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Like the Kenny Wallace segment. We can just sit back and listen.
Yeah, we'll just sit back and they can take over.
Yeah, I listened to that one. That was a good one. So, good talking to you all. Hope to see you here at the end of April.
Yeah, about a month. Looking forward to it.
Yep.
Thanks,
All right.
Pam.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye.
Good night.
Night.
It's Pam Hendrix of Oakshade Raceway. Again, there's your schedule, and we will get that posted on oakshaderaceway.com here shortly. Need to move on here because we do have some other things to actually get to. For not having a guest, we're an official guest. We have a couple guests, and we're still going. Twitter results from our Twitter poll this week, and I got to pull that up here. The Twitter poll had to do with Hunter Anthony, as you were talking about the Hornet feature winner almost, but not quite at Bristol. Did you see the story on that, Ron, where he won the race, but then was disqualified in victory lane because he didn't have his gloves on?
I saw that.
What was your opinion on the way that was handled?
I guess rules are rules. Did he? I don't know. Did he have gloves in the car? Did he take them off?
He had gloves in the car. I think he was wearing them, but he took it off. There was a red flag right before the end of the race. From what I understand, he took them off during that red flag, and then I didn't see much in his response until just today. I read something that said that he doesn't like to wear gloves because he doesn't need, or it's not mandated at his local track. And without, he needs to be able to feel the car with, the steering wheel without the gloves.
Do the letters F, O, and S mean anything to you? Scott,
no.
Gloves are probably more important than the driver's suit itself. If you're in the car and it's on fire, we talked about this a year ago or so when we had a guest on that had been burned.
Yeah.
And if your hands are burning, you quit thinking logically. And you'll stay in the fire longer if you don't have gloves on.
And if
and some of the seat belts have changed. They went from the old pole type seat belts to the cam lock because you can twist them. And then the reason is because if your hands catch on fire, your hands automatically curl up to try to protect themselves. It's a function of your body. It's just human nature. So they made the cam lock to try to help with some of that. But at the same time, if you don't have gloves on and you're in a race car, to me, you're an idiot.
Jerry, I have a problem with cam lock belts in dirt cars. You can think that they're latched. Dirt infiltrates the lock mechanism, and they can unlock. So I
still have the pull tight.
I like the latch and link. They're pretty much idiot proof, and Lord knows we need as much of that in racing as we can.
So we know it's an important safety thing, but do you think that the penalty for that violation
I think it
the
was
right
way
call?
Overblown? Yeah.
Okay. I think they probably should have made that call before they allowed him to drive up the victory lane. I don't know if you guys were watching the broadcast, but you could see him, in the car right as soon as he pulled up, big smile on his face. Then you see the guy with the headset lean in, and that smile kind of goes down into kind of a disbelief look. I was like, I felt bad for the guy, but yeah, you're right. If that's the rule, I mean, you have the gloves. Why not just put them on?
Yeah.
Our Twitter poll, 50% said yes, that was a good call. 33% said no, that was ridiculous, and 16.7% said I don't care. So there's your Twitter. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. And also make sure to stop by Big D's Pizza in Clyde. Give them a call, 419-547-1444. Check out the Big Nut Double Decker Burger. Mention the Hammer Down Racing Report, save 10%. And I believe they may still be They just reshared that post about looking for drivers. So if you need a job, check them out. Speaking of needing a job, I just shared this afternoon. Millstream Speedway is looking for folks to run the ticket gates, concession stands. A lot of jobs available there. Check out millstreamspeedway.net for that. For more information on that and how you can apply for those jobs. Work at a racetrack. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. We do it. We can attest. It's pretty fun. It's a pretty cool gig. Yeah. So last week's How Many was how many sprints were we going to have at Attica on Saturday night for their opener? And that was 410s and 305s combined. That number was 56 total sprint cars. And guess what number I picked last week?
55.
No, 56. I picked 56.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Because I'm that good. Dean Henry, who is also very good, and I don't know why he always plays because it's his pizza place that we're giving away the pizza from, but he's really good at this. He guessed 55 and was kind of in a tie with John Young, who picked 57. They were both one off, and John Young's actually pretty good at this as well. So John Young is our official winner of a Big D's pizza for guessing correctly on how many. And speaking of which, I talked to John Young the other day. He wants to do a giveaway, which we're going to do next week. This is remember I did the tease of the tease? This is the actual tease now, not the tease of the tease. This is the actual tease. Next month, we're going to be giving away a family 4-pack for a night at Oakshade. I believe it's going to have 4 drinks, 4 burgers maybe. Don't quote me on that, but there's going to be food and 4 tickets. And we're going to give that away for the How Many, probably when Chrissy's on the 22nd of April. So
that's awesome.
Little cool, little extra and stuff. Yeah, and you'll still get the Big D's pizza as well. So either way.
Yeah, win-win.
Yeah, there's no losing there. So this week's How Many caution periods will there be in the final Cup Series heat race on Saturday night at Bristol? They got the heat races starting at 6 o'clock. They're, I guess, qualifying races for Sunday's main event. There's going to be 4 of them. In that 4th one, how many cautions are we going to have?
Oh, just in the 4th heat race?
Just in the 4th heat race. And I think, what are they, 10 laps, 15 laps? I know we said this
15,
before.
I do believe.
Yeah.
No, you're talking just caution.
Just caution flat. Caution periods,
Caution
not
flag.
laps, because the caution laps don't count in these heat races. They're only counting green flag laps. But how many times will the yellow flag fly once they start racing?
Just in that heat, just in the 4th heat race.
Just in that 4th heat race. That's 15 laps there.
Who's going first?
Wait, I guess I do.
You got to go first.
I have to go first. I'm going to go with 1.
Jerry?
2. 0. You think it's going to go green to checkered?
I think the guys are going to learn watching the first 3 heat races, and
the truck heat races are before that at 4:30.
Yeah,
and I think they got 4.
I think somebody's getting dumped. That's
you think so?
The 4th heat race. Somebody's going to try to get.
And all those heat races you can watch on FS1. Again, the truck races ones start at 4:30, and then the Cup races, 4 heat races, start at 6. Then they come back with the truck main event.
And the guys are going to be kind of aggressive because they're using passing points to determine starting positions for the feature.
Yeah, kind of a weird deal there. So did Kathy have a guess this week?
Oh, yeah. You got a guess, Mama?
6.
6.
Woo! She's thinking she's counting on an ugly-looking heat race there. If you want to play along online for a chance to win a Big D's pizza, I believe it's a large pizza, as a matter of fact, just put your guess in the comments. I know the ones that know what's going on have already done so. If somebody's already picked the number you want, that's okay. You can pick the same number. We've changed the rules on this a while ago. We'll just spin the Big D's pizza wheel to determine the winner of all the correct guesses. But you can only guess once. And if you guess more than once, you get the black flag, which I moved. It's now way back over there. So I'm not going to grab it. So there you go. And you can do this up until, we'll say, noon on Saturday. So if you're listening to us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, whatever, you still can get in. Just find us, punch us up on Facebook, Facebook.com/Hammerdown Racing Report, or go to HammerdownRacingReport.com. Our link to our Facebook is there too. And find the comments, put your guess in, and you'll be under 30 cautions. Chad
There we go.
Cutsley there. He's counting on a lot of caution flags in a 15-lap race. Wow. They may not start the truck race on time if that happens. I want to thank Ron Miller Race Cars up there in Lambertville, Michigan, 734-856-7223. I probably shouldn't, we shouldn't promote you because you're busy and you need to get your late model together, right? Should we not give you any more business?
It'll happen.
If you need parts and safety equipment, that's probably the best thing for him. That doesn't take too much of his time. He can order that for you. He's got great prices. Give him a call. Again, 734-856-7223. If you need him to build a race car, he does.
You might be a little late on that.
It may take a little bit, but he'll get it done. So, we got some upcoming races here. We'll have the weekend weather pit stop right after we talk about the races coming up this weekend, and we have a Hammer Down hotline tonight. That's kind of interesting to finish off the show. So tomorrow night, Attica Raceway Park, if not too much rain falls this evening, the race will be tomorrow. If they do have Saturday as a rain date that they could push it back to, but that would conflict with Waynesfield, so I'm hoping they don't do that.
Yeah, that would definitely hurt their sprint car count if they... Yeah.
So Attica Raceway Raceway Park, it's Venture Visionary Partners Night, 410s, late models, and the 305s. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:45. General admission is $18, and as I mentioned, Saturday is a possible rain date for that, should they need to use it. Waynesfield Raceway Park, it's been a while since we talked about them. They were off all
Drove
last
past
year.
there today. Drove
Did
right
ya?
by there today. Yep.
Does it look like it's ready to go racing?
It looks like it did 2 years ago when I was there.
Okay. This weekend they're kicking things off. Actually, I believe it's the kickoff for the Boss Series as well, and Fast.
Mm-hmm. Let's Go 30 for the Boss Series, honoring Russ Cook, who was a longtime fan. His son and daughter are both active members of DARF, and his daughter is actually secretary for the DARF group, and his son's a heck of a go-kart racer. So Russ was very, very good friend of racing, and very cool that they're honoring him with this event.
So they'll be racing for $3,000 to win for the Buckeye Outlaw Sprint Series. That's the non-winged 410s. And then we'll have the fast winged Sprint Series. They're racing for $4,000 to win. No support classes. We talked to Aaron Fry on Millstream's Facebook Live a little over a week ago, and basically made a good point where, it's early in the season. You kind of want to get the shows done as quickly as possible because it gets kind of chilly at night. It's not summer yet, so no support classes. And for this, this should get done at a decent time because the pits are opening at 12:30 and the racing will start at 4 p.m. So
there's a chance you can still make it to Attica after the races are over at Waynesfield.
It depends on what the times, if they do the
Hey, I'll start scratching the B at Attica.
Okay.
I'll get done.
It's $18 for that show at Waynesfield Raceway Park, and there is a rain date for this event, but that's a couple weeks out, April 8th, if they need to do it. But I don't think that they're going to need to exercise that rain date.
Saturday's looking great.
Yeah, speaking of which, how about we hear from Ryan Weekman? It's been a while since we heard from him. Here's your weekend weather pit stop. Oh, I almost forgot his new sound effects here. Let's, here we go. Yeah. There he goes.
Here is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman. First races of the weekend, Friday down at Attica. It'll still be a little on the breezy side, but nowhere near as early in the day. Temperatures likely in the 40s. Saturday over to Waynesfield, and what it looks like right now is just a pleasant night. Temperatures could get as high as close to 70 degrees during the afternoon. They take a little bit of a dip overnight, but for late March, about as nice as you'll get for a late Saturday evening across the area. This has been your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman.
I don't know why. I cannot hear him not say meaty. He's a meteorologist. He's very meaty.
I don't need to know.
I don't.
About Ryan Weekman being meaty. All I know is that picture gets me every time because I swear to God, it's the cover of his Christmas album.
Thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer, and field correspondents, Matt Swander, Doug Dock. Next week on the show, we'll try and do a repeat here with Rick Eshelman. There are a lot of people that were looking forward to that. Unfortunately, something coming up there. So we'll try and get him on, and maybe we'll see about one of the feature winners this weekend, either at Attica or Waynesfield.
I'm going to have a race report for you one way or another. If
you're going to be at one of those tracks?
I'm supposed to be taking a trip to Kansas City, Missouri this weekend. It's kind of up in the air. If I go, I'm heading out to Lake Ozark Speedway in Eldon, Missouri for the Jason Johnson Classic, the World of Outlaws, $15,000 to win. I'll have a report from that if I go. If I don't, if I stay local, I'm going to Waynesfield on Saturday for sure.
And I don't know if I think you were offline when I mentioned this, that the Friday World of Outlaws show has been canceled. And
US
tickets,
36.
Yes, and if you have tickets for that, I believe they're honoring them at the Lake Ozark show.
Very cool. That's very cool.
If you don't want a refund. So there you go.
I promise that's going to be a great show at Lake Ozark one where that's a neat track, and $15,000 to win. Jason Johnson had a lot of friends and fans in the sprint car community. I look for a great field of cars and a great show.
I expect some interviews then. Get some interviews while you're down there.
Hey, if I get there, trust me, I'm going to the pits. We're going to talk to everybody we can.
All right.
Make sure you record them.
2 weeks 2 weeks from tonight, Doug Dock and Chris Mize from Sandusky Speedway will be on the show to talk about what's coming up, because they're going to get things started in a couple weeks. And then we got things lined up pretty much through the beginning of May. So, and hopefully nobody else has any more car trouble. We're going to leave you here in just a little bit, but first we have our Hammer Down Hotline, and this is it's all directed toward Ron. Ron's got some fans and some not fans, and before we play that Hammer Down Hotline, call it any time, 419-318-3081. Should explain what it is. It's just our whatever you want to talk about. Call it whenever, and we'll most likely play back whatever messages we do get, including messages that kind of sound like this weird stuff.
I want to preface this, Scott.
Ron, I did play this for Ron before.
I have no idea what this individual is talking about, nor do I have any idea who the hell it is.
It's Terry. It's Terry. Here you go.
Ron, it's Terry. I mean it. You got to weld this trailer better, damn it. I'm real mad. This is the third time, Ron. This is the third time this trailer's broke off at a job. I don't want to say anything bad about your mama, goddammit, but you need to fix this trailer, Ron Miller.
Hey, Ron, it's Terry. I wanted to apologize. I got pretty mad because that trailer that you welded broke again, and I just wanted to say that, Ron Miller, I'm sorry. Love and hate, destiny and fate. All my questions have been answered, yet I still don't understand. I got a busted head. 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 I got a busted head.
Yes, this message is for Mr. Ron Miller. Question for you, sir. Is sleeping with your secretary a key to a successful and long-lasting marriage?
I had a hard time not laughing at your guys' reaction during that. So sleeping with the last one also directed to Ron there. So that's a yes. Sleeping with your secretary is.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Sleeping with the secretary is definitely a cool thing.
Especially if you're married to her, right?
That helps.
All righty then. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report.
Real quick, want to thank Tim again for having me in.
Yeah. Tell him thanks for filling in, as he was a pretty good guest there. We're gonna have to check that out. Maybe come up with some kind of deal there.
Well, we got plenty of Wi-Fi, plenty of computers. Come down. We can do a show right here any Thursday. We guys want to do it. Obviously, racing season's coming. I know you guys can be busy working on your race cars, but We're here. Make sure you turn into the Dirt Racing Network on Monday. You can see the Tim Sims deals going down there, some of our great racing. And I'll have more information as soon as it comes about from over here.
Once again, I want to thank Oakshade Raceway, our presenting sponsor of the Hammer Down Racing Report. Real Geese Silhouette Decoys. Make sure to check them out on the web at realgeese.com. Millstream Speedway, again, Test and Tunes, a couple of those coming up in April. Check them out on their website. Big D's Pizza over there in Clyde, always a great sponsor. And another great sponsor, Ron Miller Race Cars.
Yay!
He's got his All-Star shirt on there. So make sure to get out and support all our sponsors, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. I don't know. Is this even a show? I don't know what to call this. It's like a thing.
Organic
we wouldn't be able
is
to,
what they call it.
We wouldn't be able to do this thing that we do. And we'll be back next week doing this thing that we do. Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Again, it's like Rick has gone offline here, so he must have something going on. We'll try and get Rick Eshelman back on, rescheduled for next week. Everything, we'll have the how many, weekend weather pit stop, everything's going to be back next week. 7 o'clock, Facebook, awesome. Twitter, YouTube. Follow us, like us on there. Rate us. If you're going to rate us less than a 4, then don't rate us, because that doesn't help us. We don't like that.
Right.
If you like us, tell your friends. If you don't like us, don't tell anybody. And
if you just you have no friends to talk to, call the Hammer Down hotline. We'll talk to you. 419-318-3081. You can do that whenever.
We'll listen to you.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
It's automated. Maybe you know who Terry is. We can talk about Terry in this trailer that he's having issues with.
And we can point him towards somebody that can weld, because certainly wasn't us.
All right, we're out. We'll see you next week. Get out and support a local track.
Good night, everybody.
See y'all.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.